This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the first day of October in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The Minister of Health believes once Guyana's full vaccination rate reaches 75% of the adult population, the country will see a turnaround in new coronavirus cases and deaths. The month of September saw the highest number of new cases and the highest number of deaths recorded in a single month since the pandemic was first recorded in Guyana in March of 2020. Based on the latest figures released by the Ministry of Health, 70% of the country's adult population has received the first dose of one of the COVID-19 vaccines, while 39% of the population has been fully vaccinated. The Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, said the country needs to push that fully vaccinated rate above the 75% mark.
All the places, they have to keep working to improve the vaccination rate. We have to get these numbers up to second dose closer to 75%. Once we get that, we'll start seeing a turnaround of the cases.
With a number of vaccination drives set to take place this weekend and additional vaccines from Pfizer expected next week, the Health Ministry is hoping that more persons will show up to be vaccinated. Those who have received the first dose of one of the vaccines are also being encouraged to return for their second dose to complete the vaccination process.
We know that vaccines can help to reduce transmission. They also would certainly help to reduce persons going into hospital and reduce deaths. So if you have cases going up and vaccination rates are low, we are going to see a lot of people coming into the hospital. So to prevent that, we have a window of opportunity whereby we can now get more people vaccinated. So those regions where they have relatively low vaccination rate, I want to make a special appeal to them to ensure that they get people out to go and get their vaccines.
Here in Georgetown, a vaccination drive will take place on Sunday at the National Cultural Center Tarmac. The vaccines that will be offered include Sputnik, Sinopharm, and Johnson & Johnson. They will also be offering the vaccines for adolescents, first and second doses of Pfizer. That vaccination drive-through takes place on Sunday at the National Cultural Center Tarmac between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Meanwhile, Regions 2, 8, and 10 continue to have low vaccination rates, with Region 10 having the lowest. The ministry is planning to roll out additional information to address issues related to vaccine hesitancy and to encourage more persons to get vaccinated. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now, transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Strap in. You know that it is a fact. The deal on wheels is back. For family, deal on wheels. For security, that's a fact. For fun, deal on wheels.
Republic Bank Deal on Wheels is back. With same-day approval, reduced equity, longer repayment terms, and more. Plus, 3 lucky winners would win $100,000 each. Get the ride for you at Republic Bank.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
Let GBTI make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
6 more persons have lost their lives to COVID-19 complications, the Ministry of Health announced today. 5 of the 6 persons died yesterday. There were 167 deaths recorded in the month of September, and a total of 6,279 new cases in that 1 month. More than 3,500 cases remain active. Despite a rising number of positive COVID-19 cases, the national COVID-19 health regulations remain mostly unchanged. The regulations, which were published in the official Gazette, have been mostly unchanged for the past months, with only the vaccination requirements being added. The curfew will remain from 10:30 p.m. to 4 a.m., although there were some calls for increased curfew hours. Guyana is currently averaging over 200 COVID-19 cases daily and about 15 deaths per week. Since the beginning of the pandemic, more than 32,000 positive cases have been recorded in the country. While the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry has expressed its concern with the overwhelming number of infrastructure work that is being handled by foreign companies operating in Guyana. The Chamber of Commerce statement comes at the same time as the government is collaborating with several private sector and civil society organizations to discuss the draft local content policy. The Chamber said it also notes the high volume of trucking, logistical, and other support services which are being operated by foreign-based companies and foreign-owned companies, particularly as it relates to the oil and gas sector. The Chamber of Commerce today said it has been in receipt of several complaints from its membership of cases in which they are being bypassed for work in favor of the international companies. The Chamber said that has been happening despite the indigenous Guyanese enterprise being both commercially competitive and having the technical capability. The Chamber of Commerce also said it remains supportive of foreign investment in Guyana, but it noted that such investments must not be done at the expense and displacement of indigenous Guyanese companies. In the past months, several Caribbean and international companies have been setting up operations in Guyana, especially in the construction and logistics field. The growing situation has become worrying for a number of local companies that are now finding it difficult to land some of those big contracts. Police investigators are continuing their probe this evening into the shooting death of 19-year-old electrician and youth footballer Joshua Denny. The young man was on his way to work early yesterday morning when he was robbed of his jewelry and shot dead by 2 armed bandits. He will be laid to rest tomorrow. A surveillance camera in the area captured the escape by the 2 bandits on a motorcycle. Investigators are hoping that someone recognizes them. An eyewitness said after the men relieved the youth of his gold chain, they were going after his phone, but he held on to it, and that was when he was shot to the chest. The incident took place in Festival City, North Ruimveldt, a short distance away from where the youth lived with his mother and siblings. The dead man's mother said it breaks her heart to know that she will now have to bury her young son. The devastated family is hoping that persons who witnessed the crime could assist the police with the investigations. The 19-year-old is being remembered as ambitious, hardworking, and a lover of sports and most of all, family. He was active in football and youth groups in the community and started his career in electrical installation after completing training programs through the Youth Challenge Guyana organization. Let's tell you now that the government of Guyana has hailed Guyana's relations with China and its commitment to the One China policy as the People's Republic of China celebrates its 72nd anniversary. In a statement today, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Hugh Todd, applauded the strides made by the Chinese government and the people of China over the years. Foreign Minister Todd said Guyana cherishes its long-standing, vibrant, and mutually beneficial relationship and friendship with China. He also noted that Guyana's relationship with China is anchored in shared principles of sovereignty, respect for territorial integrity, and internal affairs. He said Guyana also remains committed to the One China policy, as Guyana continues to undertake every effort to further strengthen and enhance the bilateral relationship between Guyana and China, and practical cooperation between the two countries. Earlier this year, Guyana was rebuked by China after the U.S. Embassy here in Georgetown announced that Taiwan will be setting up a trade office in Guyana. Guyana abruptly terminated the agreement with Taiwan to open the office hours after the Chinese government urged Guyana to correct the mistake. The Guyana government has remained tight-lipped on the agreement that was signed with Taiwan and who granted authorization for that agreement. Guyana has always respected and maintained the One China policy. Taiwan is considered the runaway province of China. The foreign minister today said the Guyana-China relations remain strong, adding that even under extraordinary circumstances faced by the global community as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, China has shown leadership and has assisted many countries, including Guyana. He said the government of Guyana applauds the leadership role taken by the People's Republic of China, especially in the area of public health and improving tangible assistance that has been crucial to combating the disease here in Guyana. Let's tell you now that the Education Ministry has announced that grades 10, 11, and 12 students will return to school for face-to-face learning this month. Students in the lower secondary grades will continue their classes online. The ministry has not set a date for the reopening of the secondary schools, but the reopening will be done according to the vaccination program for the various schools. The Education Ministry said it received advice from the Health Ministry that those students who were vaccinated should be given time to fully be inoculated before entering the school environment. As a result, the ministry said, since students of the various secondary schools received their first and second doses of the Pfizer vaccine on different dates, their reopening dates will also differ. The ministry reminded that for an adolescent to be deemed fully vaccinated with the Pfizer vaccine, they must receive 2 doses 21 to 28 days apart, with an additional 10 days after the second dose was been administered to be fully protected. The ministry also said all COVID-19 protocols, such as wearing a face mask, washing and sanitizing hands, and being socially distanced, will be observed once the students return to school.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. and it is here to stay. The future is now, transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, let's begin in Barbados, where the Minister of Labour there, Colin Jordan, is warning employers of practices which may be seen as bullying in their fight against COVID-19. The Minister of Labour issued a statement against the backdrop of some employers in Barbados mandating that workers be vaccinated against the illness. The minister called for dialogue and reminded workers that they were afforded protection under the Employment Prevention of Discrimination Act and the Constitution of Barbados. More companies are introducing vaccination policies that require workers to be inoculated, and they must show proof or they will be required at their expense to provide negative PCR tests. At least one company told workers they would not be allowed on property without a vaccination certificate. The minister said Barbados is not the Wild West, and they will only be successful in fighting the pandemic and building a strong and sustainable country if they all do it together and in an orderly way that respects all the people. In St. Vincent, the Ralph Gonsalves administration has mandated that teachers and other school staff members be vaccinated against COVID-19. In a statement, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves said on the basis of advice received by the government, it was decided to put the regulations in place and to include teachers as frontline workers. He said this would also apply to those who are working at the schools, the cooks, and other persons who would be in touch with children. The Prime Minister said these are basic reasons for the move. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has recorded 21 COVID-19 related deaths and more than 3,500 positive cases linked to the virus since the first case was reported in March last year. And finally tonight, international news. India has imposed mandatory quarantine for all UK nationals arriving in the country, even if they are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. From Monday, British citizens will have to undergo 10 days of home quarantine after arriving in India. India's government said the change brought reciprocity to its rules. There have been tensions between the two countries over the Indian-made version of the AstraZeneca vaccine known as Covishield. Indians who are fully vaccinated with the jab must still quarantine on arrival in the UK. But similarly, vaccinated travelers to the UK from many other countries are not facing the same restrictions. Officials in the United Kingdom designated Covishield an approved vaccine last month after a major backlash in India against what many saw as a discriminatory rule. It is India's primary vaccine with more than 720 million doses given out so far. It is the same as the AstraZeneca vaccine used in the UK vaccine rollout. New UK travel rules due to take effect on Monday dictate that travelers from a range of countries will not have to self-isolate if they are fully vaccinated. But India is not on the list, which has prompted further protests and accusations of discrimination. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight and this week. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.